a small chance of storms today, but tomorrow they could be much more widespread. Tomorrow's already a WRAL weather alert day. I'll let you know what time the storms will start.
Tree down in Raleigh. A road closed this morning after overnight storms. The WRAL breaking news tracker is here as the cleanup gets started.
Urgent search. Loved ones are pleading for help after a Cary woman vanished while on vacation in the Caribbean. What we're learning about the moments before she disappeared.
Apparently, those overnight storms were loud. I didn't hear them. I was in a deep sleep. But you?
No, I heard them.
You woke
up.
up. All right. Hope you got a decent amount of sleep. And thanks for joining us right now. I'm Renee Chu.
Yeah, I'm Chris Loving. Yeah, I heard it. And I pulled off the radar. I said, what in the? And then that's when I saw the little lightning symbols. I said, OK, there's thunder not too far from where we are. OK, so it is a wet start for our Monday. And we are tracking some early morning showers. Our cameras captured some of the rainfall earlier this morning in downtown Raleigh, but also right outside the WRAL studio.
Let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, and we don't see any of the showers on radar right now. They've moved out.
That's right. It's all over, and we're starting to dry out nicely. Ken's going to talk more about if you're going to run into any more wet spots on the road. Been watching this cell up to the north in Virginia, but it's weakening very quickly. Initially, it looked like it may move down into Northampton and Halifax counties. And I do think there'll be some rain, but it may be that there's not much lightning left with this, and the rain might not be quite as heavy. This is a look at what's happening out there. It's nice and quiet for us this morning. A small chance of some showers, mainly in our southeastern counties later on this afternoon. It's still a little damp here on Fayetteville Street as we're taking a look from our Jimmy V camera. 71 is our temperature. Our dew point's up at 70, so of course it is sticky. Upper 60s in Roxborough. We're looking at low 70s in Fayetteville and Clinton, looking at 71 in the Triangle right now. We do climb into the upper 80s for this afternoon with partly cloudy skies, and tomorrow is already a WRAL weather alert day. We have widespread risk for severe storms for tomorrow. I'll show you what time the storms could start where you are coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now at the WRAL Traffic Center. Those damp road conditions showing for the splash of green here in the Durham area. And because of the overnight storms that we just told you about, there's a tree down on Lake Dam Road between Avon Ferry and I-40. Gorman Street is your best bet in terms of an alternate route. We'll have a live report coming up shortly. But as far as other routes heading into Raleigh, no delays whatsoever from Wake Forest and Knightdale, all delay-free at this hour.
Well, there is a stretch of Lake Dam Road north of I-40 that shut down after overnight storms knocked down a tree. In fact, Ali Kadlabar has been at that tree at the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Ali, I mean, this tree, it's blocking this roadway. I mean, how long is it going to take before it's removed?
Yeah, and we are working to find that out. We haven't seen a crew come by to clear the road yet, but we have seen a few close calls in the past 30 minutes of people just knocking through this police tape here and almost hitting the tree. So if you are heading this way, make sure you take an alternate route or just use extreme caution if you are taking this route here on Lake Dam Road. We are near Walnut Creek Parkway. Now, no power outages have been reported. We do know of some other outages in the area caused by fallen trees, but there is no damage here to utility lines or buildings, luckily. I have reached out to Raleigh Police. We do see Raleigh Police blocking one side of the road here. Of course, we are working to find out when crews will get here to clear the road. We're going to be keeping you updated. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
And I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center. Right now, we're also following other instances of power outages due to fallen trees. And this is an area that we're seeing the greatest impact right now in Durham, where you can see about 1,000 customers currently without power because of downed trees. This is on Irwin Road in this area of Old Durham Road, Sage Road, again in Durham that we're following right now. The current estimated time of restoration is 10 o'clock this morning. So something that we'll keep our eyes on. And then we have two separate pockets of power outages in Raleigh this morning because of, again, downed trees. One that we were following near these townhomes here. This is on Merwin Road here in this area and Kaplan Drive. So, of course, we're going to continue to track these situations with those downed trees and when power will be back on for so many people this morning.
All right, thanks for tracking that for us, Laura. Firefighters put out a house fire near Clayton just before 1 a.m. and they were called to Guy Road near US 70. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there as paramedics treated someone at the scene. And we're trying to get an update on that person's condition and the cause of the fire.
It has been 5 days since a Cary woman vacationing in Grenada disappeared. This is Liz Waddell. One of her close friends is speaking with WRAL about the last time her friend was seen. Amanda Romano Harmon says she has known Waddell and her husband, Kalen, for 25 years. Waddell was last seen on Wednesday, not far from the Airbnb where she and another friend were staying at on Grand Anse Beach. That friend was the last person to see Liz. She was last seen wearing a swimsuit and a towel.
Her friend was taking her online course, and when she got through with her course, she looked up and she didn't see Liz outside, so she went outside to just kind of walk around and see where she could see maybe where she went. And she saw her towel down on the pier. She's a great person, and we really want to bring her home.
The family is telling people that the missing persons flyer from Grenada authorities is incorrect. She's actually 5 feet tall and currently has blonde hair. Anyone with information is asked to contact St. George Police. Contact information can be found in this story on WRAL.com. Tonight, a chance to learn more about the planned merger of Med and Atrium Health.
It's a plan that has many people questioning the future of healthcare in the Triangle, the cost specifically. Let's bring in Kelsey Coffey. She joins us live now from Med. Kelsey, concerned community members they're going to come together for a town hall, and that's happening tonight.
Yes, Chris, and they're going to talk about how Atrium Health plans to merge with Med in a new deal that could bring in at least $2 billion here to Wake County. But first, we're going to remind you of how we got here. So Med's reps say that Atrium's financial backing will help them serve a growing population. Opponents say the plan could lead to higher costs and lower quality of care. The deal was first announced in May. Wake County commissioners delayed voting on it, and if commissioners ultimately agree to this, state or federal regulators could try to block it. But the bar for doing that is quite high and comes with some legal roadblocks. You can share your thoughts on what should happen next tonight at a town hall at 6 o'clock at St. Ambrose Church in Raleigh. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And as we continue to follow this potential deal, we asked, why does Med want to deal with Atrium? And we explained why and the concerns from state officials on the WRAL YouTube channel.
At least 3 people are dead after a mass shooting during a food festival last night near the Space Needle in Seattle. Several others are hurt. This morning, police say they've arrested at least 1 person and are searching for another. The identities of the people killed have not been released. 4 others, including a 2-year-old, were injured. Police believe the 2 suspects were shooting at each other.
Now, the 6th teenager charged in connection with violent incidents in Raleigh on July 4th could appear in court today. Police say they obtained a secure custody order Friday, and that was for the 15-year-old connected to the Briar Creek shooting. Authorities took that teenager into custody in Durham County on Saturday morning. And Raleigh police said they are still pursuing leads that could result in more arrests.
A man and woman are expected to appear in court today after human remains were found along a trail in western North Carolina in Burke County. Law officers responded to a nature trail at Simpson Park last Tuesday. Jamar Probst and Tasha Lewis were arrested Saturday. They are being charged with 2 counts of felony conspiracy and 2 counts of first-degree murder. The SBI says additional human remains were found on the trail at the same location following their arrests. Once family members are notified, officials plan to release the name of the victim.
Today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will travel to D.C. ahead of a meeting with President Donald Trump. Now, this meeting will mark the first face-to-face talks between the president and Netanyahu since war in Iran began at the end of February. Netanyahu will also attend the funeral for Senator Lindsey Graham, who is a strong supporter of Israel. And after nearly 2 straight weeks of strikes on Iran, the U.S. paused attacks over the weekend, but tensions still remain high as the 2 sides battle for control of the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ports is still being enforced. Over the weekend, though, U.S. Central Command released video of American troops boarding and inspecting a ship. It is accused of violating the blockade. And on Meet the Press yesterday, UN Ambassador Mike Waltz says that the pause over the weekend was designed to encourage diplomacy.
What the president is doing right now, as we've seen all along, is giving some talks, some space. Talks are ongoing. They're happening at every level, from the more technical aspect of it all the way to the highest levels, of course, within both the Iranian government and the U.S. government.
The Pentagon also updated its war casualty database. The new data shows 18 U.S. service members have been killed since the war started nearly 5 months ago. More than 600 troops have been wounded.
We are less than 100 days until Election Day, and voting rights advocates will be gathering outside the legislative building today to mark the milestone. The groups will outline their plans to protect voters from intimidation, misinformation, and other barriers to voting. The event comes as lawmakers return to Raleigh. They are expected to take up a sweeping elections bill that is already drawing criticism from voting rights groups.
Time on the clock this morning is 6:09. A life remembered. Family and friends honored a Rocky Mount bicyclist killed in a crash. The message they're sharing now in hopes of preventing another tragedy.
Drought relief. Recent rain is helping Durham's water supply, but officials say the drought is not over. Why they're still asking you to cut back on water use.
And our hour-by-hour rain chance is just 20% this afternoon and evening, but tomorrow's already a WRAL weather alert day. I'll walk you through what to expect.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13 and all's quiet after some storms yesterday or last night right around the Triangle area. And in those places, if you wake up or if it woke you up last night, if you know you got rain last night, watch out for some patchy fog. We're not likely to see it really anywhere else, but I've seen it start to develop in Cary. We have a little shower that's getting ready to now move here into Northampton County. It was a pretty strong storm, just a little bit farther to the north, but it's weakened considerably. Later on this afternoon, a few isolated showers will develop mainly closer to the coast, but there could be a few of those in our southeastern counties. Here's a look at Pittsburgh. Starting to dry out pretty nicely here by the courthouse, but you can see skies are still cloudy, at least here in Pittsburgh. 66 in Roanoke Rapids, 71 in Durham and Wilson, 72 in Fayetteville this morning. So mostly in the low 70s. It should be fine for getting outside to exercise. It's muggy out there, a typical summer morning. This afternoon, partly cloudy with highs in the upper 80s. Kind of nice to keep it out of the 90s for it today. Tomorrow, more rain in our forecast. It's a WRAL weather alert day for a threat for severe storms. I'll show you the timeline coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, because of those storms last night, it brought down a tree on Lake Dam Road between Avon Ferry Road and I-40 this morning. This is a situation where if you have to navigate Lake Dam this morning, Gorman Street is your best bet, or even Avon Ferry Road, especially if you have to get to the post office there on Lake Dam Road. Coming up, I'll take a look at some other major routes and let you know if I'm picking up any delays in about 10 minutes.
And happening here in the WRAL Live Center, we were telling you guys about those outages in the Durham Chapel Hill area in Raleigh because of downed trees. And right now we have a live look at the scene of a situation in Raleigh. This is on Kaplan Drive, where our photographer, photojournalist Michael Joyner just arrived to that scene in the last few minutes. But you can see Raleigh police here at the scene and crews actively working to clear that downed tree. We have Duke Energy on the scene right now with their equipment in the air, also working to restore a line that came down as well. So right now we know about 40 customers are impacted with these power outages in this area because of this, but Duke Energy right now estimating that that power will be back on in the next 15 minutes. Of course, we'll continue to track to see if that's the case, because you can see those crews are still working to get that area cleaned up.
Thanks for that update, Laura. Family and friends gathered in Rocky Mount over the weekend to remember a man they say touched countless lives. 70-year-old Gonzalo Torres Perez died after he was hit by a car while riding his bike last week on the Thomas Betts Parkway. Loved ones say he was known across the community for his kindness. They hope his death will lead to safer streets for everyone who walks or rides a bike.
Let's be more safe on the streets when we're driving, because unfortunately for us, it was a loved one, and I do not want it to be one of your loved ones to suffer.
Family and friends are calling for more bike lanes and safer roads in Rocky Mount. Police say the driver stayed at the scene. The crash remains under investigation.
The State Bureau of Investigation is taking over an ankle monitoring program, and this is a program that tracks more than 1,000 people charged with crimes across our state. The new state budget, it moves control of the program away from a group called the Criminal Justice Information Network. This is happening about a year after the group relied on emergency state funding just to stay afloat. And the program aims to protect victims of stalking and domestic abuse. Senate Leader Phil Berger's office says lawmakers gave control to the SBI to ensure the program's long-term viability.
Today is the last day you can file a claim in a $2.5 billion settlement. This is related to customers who signed up for Amazon Prime and were unsuccessful in canceling their membership. Amazon denied any wrongdoing, but it agreed to work on making it easier for customers to cancel. You could get up to $51 from the settlement. Parts of the central U.S. are dealing with extreme heat, and that is prompting action from the federal government. The Energy Department issued an emergency order to prevent blackouts from increased AC usage. The order directs the Southwest Power Pool to take steps to help keep the electricity flowing. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says the Trump administration is also tapping into unused backup generation to make sure there is no disruption in service. This applies to 17 states. The order will remain in effect until next Monday.
Well, tomorrow we'll get another update about how all this recent rainfall is affecting our drought conditions. The Army Corps of Engineers will release new numbers on water levels at Falls Lake. Last week's update showed our water supply had risen to 66%. But folks, there is still a long way to go here. Falls Lake is still a little more than 5 feet below where it needs to be, and Raleigh remains under Stage 1 water restrictions. And the recent rain is easing drought conditions in Durham as well. The city is pumping water from Tier Quarry to take pressure off its reservoirs, but officials say that it is still important to conserve water to avoid even stricter restrictions.
And over the past week, that recent rainfall making slow deposits into the bank there. And so hopefully we'll slowly get at the drought here. And overnight, we even had a nice deposit as well, Elizabeth, with rain.
We did, yeah, right around the Triangle area. We still have one little cell that was developing up near Virginia, mostly fizzling out at this point. We have a small chance for some showers later on today, but tomorrow is already a WRAL weather alert day. We're going to talk more about that. Here's where we saw the rain overnight last night. Just a few streaks. One of those through Durham and Wake County, another really through Chatham and Lee County. But they did, again, deposit a nice amount of rain. Really right along those streaks, we saw anywhere from 1.5 inches to almost 2 inches. And that was from Durham over toward Clayton, all the way through Raleigh. And then also over here, mostly Chatham County, back over toward a little bit of Lee County and Harnett County. So every little bit helps across the viewing area, but not a whole lot of people saw that rain last night. You can see the streets here in Chapel Hill starting to dry out nicely. 71 is our temperature currently, and we're tracking storms again for tomorrow. This is likely to be a bit more widespread. It's a level 2 risk, meaning they will have scattered storms that could produce wind damage. Timeline is likely to be late afternoon up through midnight or so. This is a look at our big picture right now. There's no front that's really affecting us, but notice the thunderstorms developing back here to the west. What happens tomorrow is we're going to have a cluster of thunderstorms dropping in on us from the northwest. And again, a level 2 risk for severe storms, mostly Tuesday afternoon, evening, even into the overnight period. Now, what happens earlier in the day will also have an impact on our potential for severe storms. If we end up with some clouds and showers earlier in the day Tuesday, that will limit our chance for storms. This is 5 o'clock, and at this point right now, 5 o'clock looks okay, but parts of the evening commute, say 6, 7, 8, we could see some of these isolated cells popping up that produce some wind damage. Our rain chance for tomorrow is 50 to 60%, and then just 20% chance on Wednesday. And after that, we look pretty dry, but 7 days total. We add some more rain coming up for the weekend, anywhere from 1/2 inch to around 1.5 inches. Let's talk temperatures. 88 today, 91 tomorrow. Tomorrow, of course, is a WRAL weather alert day with that severe threat. But after that, we're pretty quiet. Our highs will be in the 80s. We do have a chance of storms again by Sunday. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Let's start with this live look at I-440 and Ridge Road. The westbound lanes coming toward us this morning, and really and truly, that's what we're seeing on that section of the Beltline. All those lanes are delay-free between the 87-440 interchange and Wade Avenue this morning. So let's widen out the view and give you a look at really and truly, we're picking up very little to no delays on all of our major routes heading into Raleigh. And this reminder, West Raleigh, real trouble spots this morning, Tree Down and Kaplan Drive, and also here on Lake Dam Road between Avon Ferry and I-40 westbound. Gorman Street is your best alternate route.
Protecting your pictures. Your photos could be helping scammers, and you might not even realize it. 5 on Your Side reveals how it happened to a local woman and the 3 ways you can protect yourself.
Preserving history. A piece of Apex could soon be lost. The effort to save the town's historic downtown fire station and why supporters say it's worth saving. The future of Apex's downtown fire station remains uncertain. Supporters gathered recently to push for preserving Station 1, a landmark that served the community for more than 70 years. They say the building is more than a fire station. It is part of Apex's history.
When you come down here to downtown Apex on a Thursday and Friday and Saturday night, and you see the people that are out here eating in our social district area, and the firemen are interacting with the public, you can't take that away. That price is it's priceless.
The town says no decisions have been made about the site's future. Supporters plan to speak at the August 11th town council meeting, where leaders will consider funding a study on possible future uses for the property.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
Punch the Monkey turns 1 and rock star treatment for Sebastian Aho in his home country.
Okay, let's bring in Ken Smith to talk about it this morning and what's trending.
Yeah, so let's start with that lovable monkey Punch, getting a lot of love from across the globe as he turns 1. Thousands of people sending Punch the Monkey birthday cards for his big day over the weekend. Zoo officials say Punch was abandoned by his mother after birth and was nursed back to health by zookeepers with the help of a stuffed orangutan that Punch clings to and drags all over the habitat.
That viral video of him with the orangutan, it just touches the heart, doesn't it? Officials say his species needs to cling to survive when they are babies. And he has since started to embrace other monkeys at the zoo as he's gotten older. Yay.
Making friends.
Way to go, Punch. So how about this? The Carolina Hurricane Stanley Cup celebration spreading around the globe. Sebastian Aho making an appearance with the cup at a music festival in Finland over the weekend. Pyrotechnics went off and the crowd went wild.
Yeah, the guy on the stage with him, too, having clearly a good time. And he was not just celebrating the Canes' big win, but yesterday was also Sebastian Aho's 29th birthday.
Yay.
Happy birthday to you, friend.
Happy birthday.
Can't wait for the season.
Storm damage, heavy rain overnight brought down this tree in Raleigh on Lake Dam Road. This is a live look from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker as the cleanup gets started this morning.
And Med Atrium debate. People will get the chance to learn more about the proposed merger today, where things stand ahead of a vote by Wake County commissioners.
And a little bit of fog out there potentially this morning as we had some rain overnight last night. I'll show you when the sun comes out and how much warmer it'll be today coming up.